Welcome back. Jay Bala of cashthechaos.com is with us on the show now. Jay, 3 good days on the trot. Today is flat, but holding on to all the gains. Nifty is above that 19,400 mark and once again facing some resistance around the 20-day moving average. What have you made of the last few days?
Hi, Rima. Good to be on the show. See, the market's movements over the next few weeks or the next couple of weeks is going to be extremely significant from a medium to long-term perspective. And as long as Nifty stays below 19,850, the probability of market making lower lows is having a higher probability. But if 19,850 were to get taken out, there is a probability that this market will go to a record high for one last time, and that will be a mega top for several years to come through. So, but if the market were to clock lower lows and not take out 19,850, this will be what do you call a medium to slightly longer term correction, say that lasts for about 8 to 10 months time frame. So the market's price action over the next couple of weeks is going to be extremely important. From a very short term perspective, 19,480 is a very important resistance, and above that it's 19,850. So if as long as market stays below 19,480, the market's breaking below the October low is the most probable outcome.
Okay, Jay, hi, welcome to the show. Well, a lot of these PSU stocks are doing well. A couple of the PSU banks, case in point would be, say, something like a Bank of Maharashtra has gained around 43% this year. It's up around 1.6% today. Bank of India is not doing too badly, up around 2.5%. Central Bank of India as well. Anything that you would recommend within that space?
No, I would generally avoid banks, but Nifty PSU banks as such has got a unfinished up move. Probably may make a fleeting high about 5,400. It saw last month, but this either this is not worth the risk that's taking, because the overall my outlook for the main banking index, not the PSU banking index, is negative from a long-term perspective. I pointed this out several times in my interactions with you for the last several months, but that's the reason for caution here. But I think there is a little bit of upside left, slightly above 5,400 for the PSU banking index. But if you're already holding these banks, then you can trail with the stops with about 4,600 on the Nifty PSU banking index. But otherwise, no, avoid the sector.
Okay. Jay, I just want to go back to the point you made. You said if the market takes out 19,800 thereabouts, then it could be making a long-term, big top. So just if you could elaborate on that point and tie that in with how a lot of the global asset classes are moving, because, the US 10-year has cooled off. It's down to 4.6. The dollar is showing a little bit of a sign of a cool off as well. So the immediate propensity is to believe that maybe the worst is behind. A lot of these signs that were flashing red, they've started easing off. What have you made of all this?
Glad you asked that, Surabhi. The markets are likely to take out all-time high if the markets were to cross 19,850, and the all-time high would be somewhere in the region of 20,600. Maybe on a throw over to 21,000. So that's the maximum potential for it. When it comes to the global asset classes, how this ties in with the Nifty is that I've been projecting saying that the October 2022 high for the dollar index is not the long-term high for the dollar index. That's the view the majority of the markets are holding, but that's not the case. The dollar index has got short-term residual uptrend pending. I pointed out last time its consolidation bullishly above 104.75. The recent low was 104.85, and the fact that it's bouncing from there is a positive for the short term. And the bare minimum is about 119. When it comes to the US 10-year yields, the long-term objective for the US 10-year yields is 800 bips and nothing short of it. And what we are seeing is only probably a medium-term top. And if I look at the German 10 years, there's a probability that there's a probability that short-term top is not being clocked. But the US 10 years is a little bit ambivalent. But I will the long-term for the when I say long-term is 24 months for the US 10-year yields. It's about 800 to maybe even 900 bips, but we'll work with a conservative estimate. The pullback could be somewhere close to about slightly short of 400 bips, and then the yield curve will start to strengthen higher. So, that's how the markets are at this. And if you look at the US and the European equities are continuously clocking lower lows and lower highs. And if you look at main indices of the US markets, like the SOX, like the FANG or the Dow Jones Transportation or the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 in particular has broken below the 2022 low. So the main indices are hiding the weakness within the broader markets.
Jay, you've got a long trade that you would recommend on Hero Motor Corp. Can you tell us what the charts are suggesting? And Tata Motors is also precariously poised.
Yeah. See, the auto index's level of 15,700 is absolutely critical. And if 15,700 comes before 16,600, I would advise all the longs that you've been holding since March of this year to, pocket those gains. And, the two-wheeler space is slightly stronger when it compared to the four-wheeler space. If Tata Motors were to break below 608, they'll have a bearing on the whole sector and probably even the overall Indian markets. But as I say, there are still residual strength left in Bajaj Auto, Hero Motors, TVS Motors. So that's the reason for a long in Hero Motors with a stop at about 30-40 for a projection of about 3,400 for Hero Motors. That's the objective that's playing out here.
Jay, we'll leave the conversation here for now. Thank you very much for joining in. So that's the technical setup for our